The war in Ukraine rages on, with no end in sight. Missiles fly through the sky, leaving trails of smoke. Tanks clash on the ground, their cannons roaring. But behind the scenes, away from the battlefield, a different kind of conflict is brewing, one that is hidden from the public eye. A technological arms race, shrouded in secrecy and cloaked in shadows, is unfolding. Engineers work tirelessly in high-tech laboratories, assembling drones that could change the face of warfare. This is the story of Russia's alleged secret drone program in China, a program that could reshape the balance of power in the 21st century. The collaboration between these two nations is more than just a partnership. It's a strategic alliance with far-reaching implications. Rumors have swirled for months, whispers of a clandestine deal between Moscow and Beijing. In dimly lit rooms, handshakes seal agreements that could alter the course of history. Now, investigative journalists and intelligence agencies are piecing together a disturbing picture. They sift through documents, analyze satellite images, and follow leads that paint a troubling scenario. Leaked documents, eyewitness accounts, and satellite imagery all point to a chilling possibility that Russia, starved for weapons by Western sanctions, has found a willing partner in China. The construction sites in China, captured by satellites, reveal the scale of this covert operation. The stakes are incredibly high. Military officials engage in tense discussions, aware that the outcome of these negotiations could tip the scales of global power. If these reports are true, they represent a major escalation in the Russia-Ukraine conflict and a dangerous new phase in the relationship between two of the world's most powerful nations. The military parades showcasing Russian and Chinese forces together are not just displays of strength, they are signals to the world. The world is watching, holding its breath, as the truth slowly emerges from the shadows. News anchors report breaking developments, and people everywhere anxiously follow the unfolding story, aware that the implications could be profound and far-reaching. At the heart of this alleged secret program lies a new generation of Russian combat drone, the Garpia 3 or G3. This drone is not just another addition to Russia's arsenal, it represents a significant leap in military technology and strategic capabilities. Details about the G3 are still scarce, shrouded in secrecy and disinformation. The Russian government has been tight-lipped, releasing only minimal information to the public and the international community. But what we do know is deeply troubling. Analysts and military experts have been piecing together information from various sources, and the emerging picture is one of a highly advanced and potentially game-changing weapon. The G3 is believed to be a long-range, high-precision strike drone, potentially capable of carrying a significant payload of bombs and missiles. This means it could deliver devastating attacks with pinpoint accuracy, far from the front lines. Some experts believe its capabilities could rival those of the American Reaper drone, a weapon that has become synonymous with the U.S. war on terror. The Reaper has been a cornerstone of American military strategy, and the G3 could offer Russia a similar strategic advantage. Reports suggest that the G3 is designed to evade radar detection, making it a stealthy and highly effective weapon system. This stealth capability would allow it to penetrate deep into enemy territory without being detected, increasing its effectiveness and survivability. Its long-range capabilities would allow Russia to strike targets deep inside Ukraine, potentially changing the course of the war. This could give Russia a significant strategic advantage, allowing it to hit high-value targets with minimal risk to its own forces. The development of the G3 represents a significant leap forward in Russian military technology, and its deployment could have devastating consequences. As the world watches closely, the G3 could become a symbol of a new era in warfare, where unmanned systems play an increasingly dominant role on the battlefield. Pinpointing the exact location of the alleged drone factory has been a top priority for Western intelligence agencies. While concrete evidence remains elusive, multiple reports point to a heavily guarded industrial complex in eastern China. Eyewitness accounts from workers at the factory describe a hive of activity, with Russian engineers and technicians working alongside their Chinese counterparts. Satellite imagery analysis shows a recent surge in construction at the site, including new hangars and testing facilities. The secrecy surrounding the factory is incredibly tight. Workers are reportedly forbidden from speaking about their activities, and access to the site is heavily restricted. Despite these efforts, leaks continue to trickle out, painting a picture of a sophisticated operation designed to produce weapons of war under the cover of darkness. The Chinese government has vehemently denied any involvement in the alleged drone program, maintaining its official stance of neutrality in the Russia-Ukraine conflict. However, the evidence suggests a more complicated reality. China has walked a diplomatic tightrope since the beginning of the war, condemning the invasion while simultaneously providing economic lifelines to Russia. The question now is whether Beijing is willing to cross a red line by providing military support to Moscow. The international community is watching China's actions closely. The US has warned of severe consequences if China is found to be aiding Russia's war effort. The European Union has also expressed its concerns, urging China to use its influence to bring an end to the conflict. Section 5. The view from Washington: escalation and concern. The Biden administration is closely monitoring the situation, alarmed by the potential for a significant escalation in the conflict. The White House has condemned the alleged drone program as a dangerous provocation and a violation of international law. U.S. intelligence officials believe that the transfer of advanced drone technology from China to Russia would have far-reaching consequences, potentially emboldening other rogue actors and undermining global security. The U.S. is considering a range of responses, including imposing new sanctions on Chinese companies and individuals involved in the drone program. The Biden administration is also exploring ways to increase military support for Ukraine, including providing advanced air defense systems to counter the threat posed by Russian drones. Section 6. A new arms race? The global impact of drone warfare. The alleged Russian drone program in China has raised alarm bells around the world, highlighting the growing threat posed by drone warfare. Drones are becoming increasingly sophisticated and deadly, lowering the barriers to entry for states and non-state actors alike. The proliferation of drone technology has the potential to destabilize entire regions and spark a new arms race. As drones become more commonplace, the risk of accidental escalation and unintended consequences increases dramatically. The international community must work together to establish clear norms and regulations governing the use of drones in warfare. Failure to do so could have catastrophic consequences, ushering in a new era of conflict characterized by remote-controlled killing and the erosion of international law. Section 7. The Fog of War: Unraveling Truth and Deception. In the fog of war, truth is often the first casualty. Disinformation and propaganda run rampant, making it difficult to separate fact from fiction. This is especially true in the case of the alleged Russian drone program in China. Both Moscow and Beijing have a vested interest in concealing the true extent of their cooperation. Russia is desperate to avoid further sanctions, while China is keen to protect its image on the world stage. Unraveling the truth requires careful analysis of open-source intelligence, including satellite imagery, social media posts, and shipping records. Journalists and researchers must also rely on leaks from whistleblowers and defectors, who often risk their lives to expose wrongdoing. Section 8. The Future of Warfare: Drones on the Battlefield. The war in Ukraine has provided a chilling glimpse into the future of warfare, where drones play an increasingly prominent role. These unmanned aerial vehicles have transformed the battlefield, offering new capabilities and changing the dynamics of military engagements. Drones offer several advantages over traditional weapon systems, including lower costs, which make them accessible to a wider range of military forces. This cost-effectiveness allows for the deployment of more units, increasing the overall operational capacity. Additionally, drones reduce the risk to human pilots, as they can be operated remotely from safe locations. This not only saves lives but also allows for longer and more sustained operations without the physical and mental fatigue that human pilots experience. Drones also have the ability to strike targets with pinpoint accuracy, minimizing collateral damage and increasing the effectiveness of military operations. Their precision targeting systems can identify and engage threats with remarkable accuracy. As drone technology continues to advance, we can expect to see even more sophisticated and autonomous systems deployed on the battlefield. These advancements will likely include improved AI capabilities, allowing drones to make real-time decisions and adapt to changing conditions. These drones will be capable of carrying out a wider range of missions, from reconnaissance and surveillance to targeted assassinations and electronic warfare. Their versatility makes them invaluable assets in modern military strategy. However, the increasing reliance on drones raises a host of ethical and legal questions. The use of autonomous systems in combat challenges traditional notions of accountability and responsibility. Who is responsible when an autonomous drone kills civilians? This question becomes even more pressing as drones become more autonomous, potentially making life-and-death decisions without human intervention. How do we prevent the proliferation of these weapons to terrorist groups and rogue states? The accessibility and ease of manufacturing drones make it difficult to control their spread, posing a significant security threat. These are questions that we must grapple with urgently as drone warfare becomes the new normal. The future of combat is being shaped by these technologies, and it is crucial that we address the ethical, legal, and security challenges they present. Section 9. The Unfolding Chessboard, Geopolitical Implications. The alleged Russian drone program in China is not just a military concern, it is a geopolitical earthquake with the potential to reshape the global order. The program underscores the growing alignment between Moscow and Beijing, two authoritarian powers united by their shared animosity towards the West. The strengthening of the Russia-China axis poses a direct challenge to the US-led international order. As Washington grapples with the implications of a two-front conflict, it must find ways to deter further aggression from both Moscow and Beijing. The stakes are incredibly high. The world is watching, holding its breath, as the pieces on the geopolitical chessboard are rearranged. The decisions made in the coming months and years will determine the course of the 21st century and the fate of the rules-based international order.